I want to talk a little bit about how my workflow has changed over the years and what I'm doing now compared to what I was doing and how I was working as a developer back in the day. So back in the day, in the good old times, I'm a developer since high school. So how I was developing, I have this function and I'm manually writing code. I'm defining variables here, typing the code myself, and this is how I was developing. Back in the day, we were all developing slowly, but now everything changed with this AI revolution. Well, what's happening now? It's AI is writing the code for you, and if you're not using any AI tool, I believe you're missing out. And I'm not saying that AI should be doing everything for you, but it's definitely an assistant that helps you in your workflow. And if you're not using any sort of AI in your development workflow, I think you're missing out. What does this mean? For example, I'm talking about personal experience here, about myself and how I used to work. So I used to write a few years ago just only the code by myself manually, like this. So just write code, define variables. Back in the day when I was in high school, almost a few years ago, 8 years ago. And now what I'll do is I use Cursor as my daily text editor. And what I'll do is I'll just go here, provide context for the AI, in which file I want to write the code, and I just say write this. I choose the agent and it writes the code for me. And this is a huge change, and it really helps me in my workflow. For example, there have been a few times where AI has done a better job than me in writing the code. Or what happens is I'll just write the code myself in one way and it works, it solves the issue, it solves the problem effectively. But if I give the task to the AI, it solves the problem in a different way, but it still works. And this new way is a new idea that you got introduced to by the AI. And if it wasn't for the AI, you wouldn't think of this issue. Also, another thing that has radically changed is how I resolve and troubleshoot issues. So what happens before was you get an error in the terminal. You get an error here, some type of error when you run a command. Then what I used to do is copy the command, go to Google the command, see on Stack Overflow, search for some time if any other person has come up with this error. And then if I finally found some solution, something similar that other person has experienced, then I go back into my text editor, then I just search, try to resolve the issue, then it doesn't work, then go back on Stack Overflow, then come back with this other potential solution, then I finally maybe fix it. But now what I'll do is if an error comes up in the terminal, I just say add to chat and say fix to the AI, and it fixes the error for me. It has context of the entire project, so it's easy for the AI to look into the different files, and everything has changed, and my workflow has been more effective because of this. And small things like this help you. For example, back in the day, to import a file, I would have to go and search. Okay, now go and search in the folders, in source, how is the path, how do I need to import this. Now everything you can just just say import this file, and it imports correctly. And it's come to the point to where you don't even have to write code anymore. You just kind of reviewing code. The AI writes the code for you, and you're just typing to the AI what you need to write. Of course, you can go to the other direction where I don't think you should, where you are not looking at the code at all and everything is done by the AI. But I think you should be involved as much as you can and still look at the code and change the code, and only use AI as an assistant and not doing just everything for you.